We are here with Lynn Bilberry, Director of Transportation for Lumberton ISD. Lynn, can you tell us the number of buses in your fleet?
Sure thing. Ken, we run in 37 buses in our total fleet, and 7 of those buses are propane. And those buses are doing us a lot of good service. We burn about, you want me just go on with the question like that? We are currently right now burning about 32,000 gallons of propane a year in those 7 buses. Our fleet averages 10 years on all of our buses. Our propane buses are about 2.5 years old. We're going into the 3rd year with them. And our average mileage with our propane fleet is about 20,000 miles a year.
Okay. Do you park your buses in the same location each night?
Yes, sir. We locate our buses just across the street in our maintenance area where we park our buses under cover every night. Only buses we don't cover up, Ken, are ones that are reserve fleet.
Okay.
And we're looking at covering those. Before the year's up, we're going to put a cover over those also.
Great. What is your opinion of propane as an alternative fuel for your fleet needs?
Well, our propane, to me, is a very clean alternative to other types of combustible fuels. It serves a great purpose in saving our environment. In our case, and I don't know if it's true of everybody else, but our gas mileage per gallon is not very good in our propane fleet. We're getting about 3 to 5 miles to a gallon. And we're having some maintenance issues, I think, from the conversions of the engines, some of the issues we're having with those. It has nothing to do with propane, it's just the engines more than anything else. But we're having a lot of fuel pumps and a lot of fuel injectors we're having issues with over the course of the 2.5 years that we've been working with those engines.
Starting to work some of those bugs out?
Right, and you know that GM engine that was swapped over the propane is one that GM no longer manufactures, and a lot of the bus companies bought them up and used them. And like I said, it's a good engine, but it's just, I think some of the bugs, some of the engineering bugs they didn't figure out when they made those conversions are catching up, and we're working them out.
Good, good. Any other viable points on alternative fuel usage you'd like to add?
Well, I think certainly propane is a good alternative. I think one of the things we need to look at are fuel points. Our issue is in our district is if we run a propane bus out of town and it runs out of fuel, we have to call a propane tank out. We don't have any way to fuel a vehicle on the side of the road.
Right.
We can do that with a diesel or a gasoline engine, but with propane, we don't have an alternative.
Right.
I think if there were more propane fuel stops along the way, I think it would certainly help serve the purpose for educational and probably even some commercial issues.
Right. Are you aware that there's not only booklets provided by the Railroad Commission, but also a Department of Energy website that identifies all of your propane fueling stations in your area?
I was not aware of that. Yeah.
I'm going to send you a web site to that.
Okay.
So hopefully, some of these field trips that you might want to schedule, that you'll entertain your propane buses for that and not
Sure.
have that same issue again.
Sure, and what we're looking at doing right now is going to the Texas Fleet fuel system, which will help us save money on that route too, because we'll be able to get the same price at the pump as we're getting here when we use that fleet card.
Okay. Lynn, I know today is the first day of school, and I apologize for barging in on you. Can you tell us a little bit of what you do to prepare for the first day of school?
Well, Ken, we start out as soon as school's out, going through every one of our buses. Any buses that we know have major issues, we start working on those immediately to get them up and running. Transmissions, engines, anything like that, and then we start going through all of our brake systems. We update all of our computers. We go through all of our air conditioning systems to make sure everything's up to par what it should be. And then we run those buses routinely during the month, June, July, and up to August. We come in the week before school starts and we run all of our routes with all of our regular drivers because we do change some routes based upon population from the year before.
Right.
We make sure those routes are still viable, and if there's any changes that the drivers see once they drive the route, and we go through and we make those adjustments get ready for the first day of school. Our big issue that we were having is we were crossing the railroad tracks 20 times with buses, and it was an issue. So we went through and we segmented some buses into sections, different sections of town, and we cut that 20 down to 12. So yes, sir, it's a big safety issue, and we do have some issues with the train coming through over here that we try to avoid, but we were able to cut that back, and we're really pleased, and we hope we'll be able to continue to improve that.
That's great. Lynn Bilberry with Lumberton ISD, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.